Yes, indeed. Good morning, everybody. Yours truly, Retro, with you on this morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Why? Because it is He that has made us and not we ourselves. We are the sheep of His pasture. I don't know about you, but I'm just extremely grateful for another day in the land of the living. If it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, where would I be? And because He has done what He has done for me, I will continue to be extremely grateful. And I will. There was a song my little brother sung one Easter. Go telling on the mountain, yeah, where the hills and everywhere. Go telling on the mountain, Jesus Christ. And so, I'll go everywhere. I'll go over the mountain and I'll tell it. Jesus Christ is Lord. The Bible says every knee should bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Okay. And so I'm extremely grateful. That doesn't mean that every day is perfect for me. That doesn't mean that I don't have my struggles. That doesn't mean that I don't have my setbacks. It just means that I was going to say a better, but it just means that I have a good understanding of how my perspective should be. Yeah. Some folks say the glass is half full. Some folks say the glass is half empty. Where do you stand? Where do you stand? Good morning to you. And welcome to the show. Let's go ahead and get started because today I want to talk about new beginnings. I want to talk about new beginnings. Okay, I want to talk about new beginnings. And when talking about new beginnings, it doesn't mean that everything is new in this new beginning. Sometimes new beginnings start with old things. Okay, sometimes, case in point, you can be making a brand new start. You're starting all over again, right? And you leave from one region, you leave from one location to the next, but you leave in that same old hoopty. That is the vehicle that you are using to get you from where you are to where you're going. Not all new beginnings start with all brand new things. Sometimes you got to work with what you got. Come on, somebody. I need a church on this morning until the Lord blesses you with what you need. It's your boy Retro. That's Retro Philosophy for you on today. I'm saying all that to say this. Some of us, we have an opportunity for a brand new start. For a new beginning, a fresh start, new beginning. Well, let me say this. And sometimes a new beginning doesn't necessarily mean a fresh start per se. But anyway, and so some of us, we think because we don't have everything new, we can't make a new beginning. And I just wanted to talk to you about that for a minute and just inform you that you are incorrect in that thinking. You are incorrect in that assumption. Okay. You might have to ride that same beat up Buick you got until God blesses you with something better. But that does not mean that you cannot start. Okay. It doesn't mean. Brother Aguilera is in the building. Good morning to you, JJ. How you doing, sir? Thank you for pressing play. Blessings upon me, but blessings upon you as well. And that's the awesomeness about our God. How can I bless you without myself being blessed? And so thank you for those blessings on this morning, brother. Not only do I need them, but I can feel them. And I want to wish it right back on you because that is the kind of God that we serve. And because that is the kind of God that we serve, then that is the kind of people we should be. OK, when someone blesses you, you should desire to be a blessing to them. We've got to get. OK, let me say this. Let me just throw that in there as well. When we get ready to start a new beginning, you might drive your same old beat up Buick to your new house, to your new destination, to start your new job, to start your new life or whatever. But please understand, you drove that same beat up Buick, but that doesn't mean you have to bring the same old bad habits. Okay. And there are, I told this to my kids growing up and anyone that would listen. Let's see. Brother Aguilera says new beginnings begin with new ways. There you go. New ways of thinking. New ways of thinking. It's almost like Thanksgiving. You get turkey and all this food, and then the day after Thanksgiving, you got to come up with a new way to prepare the same old food, the same old and a new beginning begins with new ways of thinking. Okay. Now you may still have to work with the same materials, but you can think about them differently and you can approach them differently, and therefore you can get different results. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. I was wrong once, thought I was wrong. Turns out I was right. But no, all seriousness, new beginnings begin with new ways of thinking. And I believe I'm a firm believer that sometimes that's all we need to do is we need to look at it differently. It's just like you're working on a project and you get stuck. You just if you're writing a book, I think they call it writer's lock or writer's block or something like that. But anyway, sometimes you got to walk away from the thing. Sometimes you got to step away from the situation. Because you've become bogged down. Maybe you've been overthinking something, or you're over processing it, and sometimes you got to step away and come back to it maybe a couple hours later, maybe the next morning after you've gotten some rest. Somebody say rest. Yeah, rest is very important. And so maybe you come back to it after a while of resting or clearing your head, and you come back at it and you look at the thing and you begin to think about it a little differently. You begin to see a different opportunity or different possibility. Boom, the light bulb goes off. And now all of a sudden you can see clearly now the rain is gone, and now you can get to the bottom of it. Now you can complete it. And so, yeah, it's all about a new way of thinking. Sometimes we're working on things, y'all, whether it be your relationship, whether it be your business, whether it be the church, ministry, whatever it might be. And you begin to look at all the obstacles that are coming at you. And because you are now focusing on the obstacles, you are no longer focusing on the possibilities. And now all you see are your obstacles, your problems, your mishaps, this, that, and the other. And now based on what you are seeing, this thing can't be done. And you begin, Pastor E is in the building. ADHD kick in. Yep. When your ADHD, when that kicks in, yeah, you got to take a break. You got to take a break. You got to step away from the project. And so you got to realize, man, that you begin to focus on all the negativity, all the obstacles, this, that, and the other, and you are no longer seeing the possibilities. You're no longer seeing the way it can work because of all the ways that you're focused on that it might not work. And so now you begin to think on those things, and as a man thinketh, so is he. And now you begin to tell yourself, based on what you are seeing and focusing on, that this ain't gonna work. And now your emotions start getting tied up in that thought, and then your emotions and your thoughts begin to attack your heart, because in your heart is saying, I think I can. It goes. I'd like to drop this text in there. You guys remember the children of Israel? They were on their way to the promised land, right? And on the way to the promised land, there was a city, and that city was called or named Jericho. I tried to get deep in, Jericho, so Jericho was there, right? But Jericho was a walled city. It was, and they had to conquer Jericho, but there was no way in. It seemed as though it was unconquerable. It was impenetrable. And one of the reasons for that was because the people of Jericho had already heard about these children of Israel, the children of the Most High God, and everything. And so they were prepared to protect themselves, or, so, they get to Jericho, y'all. And they had to march around the city, but what happens, the point that I want to make is when they sent the spies out to spy out the land, they came back to Moses and they told Moses, they said, Moses, there are giants in the land. They're giants. And they went on a step further. Now, no one said how skilled. See, just because something is big doesn't mean it's got to be scary. Just because something is big doesn't mean it cannot be conquered. Some of your biggest problems, come on, somebody, are not your biggest problems. Your biggest problem is you thinking yourself a grasshopper. They came back and they said, there are giants in the lands, and we are grasshoppers in our own eyes. They said we are like grasshoppers compared to these giants. But Joshua and Caleb, they stealed the heart of the people. They didn't, it's not stealed as in stole, but they stealed as in calmed the heart of the people. They said, look at here, because see what happened was their thoughts and their emotions had started getting wrapped up based on what the spies that came back said. Now, Joshua and Caleb were among the spies, but Joshua and Caleb said, we are more than able to conquer the land. Let me pause the background music. Boom. Look at here, y'all. We are more than able to conquer the land. I don't care what it is that's in front of you. I don't care what it is that's challenging you. I don't care what it is that is trying to stop you. You, my brother and sister, are more than able to conquer it. What you must do is you must pause for a moment. Come on now. And if you got ADHD, you definitely got to pause for a long moment and then step back and regroup. Okay. Because you've been thinking and you've been focusing on the wrong things. And the more you think on the wrong things, the more you're going to focus on the wrong things. Okay. And then you'll mess around and start telling yourself, man, I can't do this. And if you say you can't do it, then you ain't going to do it. But you can do it. You know, you got to just take a moment to pause, regroup, and then come back at that thing and start your new beginning. Okay. And so Joshua and Caleb, they begin to steal the heart of the people. And the Bible says that Joshua and Caleb had a different spirit. They had a different spirit. Now, you need to pause for a moment. You need to take inventory of your circle. You need to pause for a moment. You need to take inventory of your crew. You need to pause for a moment. You need to take inventory of your team. Yep, that's what you got to do. And you got to find out what kind of heart do they have. Find out what kind of heart they have. Because some people's heart is one way when it's just you, but it's another way when it's somebody else. And, you know, we're in a day and age where we ain't got time for wishy-washy people. A day and age that we in now, we need solid people. We need people that are going to say, look here, we are more than able to conquer the land. We are more than able to accomplish what's in front of us. I know it's difficult. And I know we might even be, you know, fairly new at this. And you know, but you know what? Look here, bro. We can do this thing. If you do this and I do that and we do this, you know, we can make it work. We can make it work. We can make it work. Okay. Don't go into your new beginning with your old ways. Don't go into your new beginning looking at people like the old folk that was in your old ways. I might look like him. She might talk like her, but two different people. You know, when the snowflakes fall from the sky, come on now. When the raindrop drops from the sky, come on now. They're individual. They're different. No snowflake is the same as the other one. No individual on this earth is the same as the other one. I can have an identical twin, and I do not. When I was young, me and my brother, we got mistaken for twins all the time. But even if we were identical twins, there would still be something to set us apart. There would still be something that would identify us individually. Okay, so let me pause for a moment. In all seriousness, come on, David. Am I talking about it this morning? I'm trying to. We need solid people. I don't need no mushy people. Solid people. Okay. And so what we've got to understand is that in the day and age that we are living in, man, we've got to realize that just because in my new beginning, God's going to send me some people, right? And without going into a whole bunch of details, there are some situations that I'm seeing right now. And I see people who not only remind me of people who was in my life at a different phase, but they're representative. Come on now. It's almost like they're there again. Because see, here's the deal. Paul, I don't know if you know, Ishmael, my brother, good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you. I want you to check your mailbox. You should be receiving the Retro Philosophy care package, the love package, the grateful package, whatever you want to name it. You should receive it. Should be receiving that today if if the mailman didn't take a day off. But so thank you for pressing play, and thank everyone for pressing play, and thank you for joining the show on this morning. We're just talking about new beginnings. Let's see here. Yeah, boom. I want to put that up there because I want you to know that I'm appreciative and that I'm grateful that you took time out of your day to press play on today. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, so these people, they are indicative. They are, I don't know if I should use the word indicative, but they are certainly representative, or they're certainly remind me, whatever the correct word may be. All y'all smart folk, put the right word in there. But anyway, they're there, and they look, they resemble. They certainly remind me. But here's the fact: they're different. Now, if Johnny, who was in my old what do I want to say it? And in my old beginning looks like Bobby in my new beginning, that is not that doesn't mean that I can treat Johnny like Bobby or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? now Johnny, he was grimy, but Bobby is solid. Okay. And I think sometimes we have people in our new beginning that kind of remind us of somebody from our old beginning, and we treat the person in the new beginning based on what the old person did. And what you do is you perpetuate the same outcome that you had in the past, even over in your new beginning. Okay. And so we've got to be extremely careful that we don't do that. Look here, we are not grasshoppers. We are not grasshoppers, okay? Sister Schoolfield Creations by TYS is in the what? She's in the house, y'all. She's not in the building. She's in the house, but she's in the building too. Tish, put your address down of your building so they can come by and get some of that great jewelry that you're over there making in the very fine state, or excuse me, city of Statesville, North Kakalaki. So go ahead and put the address to the shop up there for Creations by TYS. And yeah, so you guys, if you're in the North Carolina area, check this out. Even if you're not in the North Carolina area, I just jumped up and ran upstairs and started to try to get the show going, and I didn't adorn myself with my jewelry. But normally I like to wear a piece that's created by TYS Creations because she's my blood sister, my real sister, for real. And she does an excellent job with the pieces that she makes, that she creates. Okay, they're creations. Okay, they're creations. Get it right. If you're gonna do it right. This is a good cup of coffee this morning, y'all. Just bear with me for a moment, please. All right, back to business. So don't start a new beginning with old ways. Okay, and be very careful that you don't sabotage something great because of a past bad experience. I know Bobby was grimy, but Jim Bob is solid. Jim Bob got your back. Jim Bob ready to work, and so we've got to understand that. Okay. Paul, he came to that conclusion and understanding because literally he had a fallout with John Mark because John Mark turned back. But in this case, it wasn't even like it was a different person later on in life. It was the same John Mark. Mm-hmm. But you got to understand that sometimes people have a new beginning. Yeah. Sometimes people can start over and start afresh because they get new perspective, new revelation, new understanding, new determination. Come on, new strength, new faith. Yeah. And so the person who might have walked away from you before, they learned from their mistake. They've grown and now they've changed. So if they come back into your life, be careful not to dismiss them based on a past experience with them, because you don't know what has happened in the process. Yeah. And so what you might be doing is you might be closing the door on one of the greatest blessings God's going to send your way. I'm going to pause for a moment intentionally. Okay. That's real talk though. Retro philosophy, but it's real talk, y'all. Okay. All right. People change. Yeah, people change. Now, you saw them mess up. But what you didn't see is you did not see the remorse they had for the mess up. What you did not see is them going to God, repenting for the mess up. What you didn't see is them going to God saying, God, I'm sorry. I don't ever want to do that again. Strengthen me, Lord. Create in me a clean heart. So you didn't see all of that because real talk, it was really none of your business. Yeah. Someone's repentant process, it's none of nobody else's business. It's between them and God. David said, against thee and thee only have I done this sin and done evil in thy eyes or in thy sight. So even if the sin that I've done transgressed against you, first and foremost, I am sorry. I beg your forgiveness. But even if you don't give it, I still go to God, because it's really between me and him and me, and not we and us. I mean, I'm just saying, right? And so what happens is sometimes we don't allow people another chance. Matter of fact, we don't even allow people a second chance. We don't. He said, if your brother trespass against you 7 times, what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep on forgiving them 70 times 7. I think it was the example he gave. Good morning, Mother Bailey, my mom in love. How you doing, ma'am? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I heard my mother-in-law, and my wife. They were on the phone the other day, and I didn't hear the whole conversation. All I heard was cow foot, and I just perked up. I was like, me. I want cow foot. Me. Text it to me. Email it to me. Look at here, man. Yo, last time I went to Springfield, when was it, moms? I think it was a couple months ago. I was up there and rode up there, and I had a great time, man. And when I tell you, my family treated me like a king, man. I'm telling you, man, they had me feeling, oh man, they had me. I didn't tell them. I should have, but I'm telling them now. They had me in tears, man. I told my wife, I said, man, they just treated me so good. They just made me feel so good, man. So thank you guys. Thank you. I love y'all, and y'all already know what it is. Okay. My man Troy Smith is in the building, yo. Stop the press. Hold on. Put everything to a pause. Troy Smith is where? He's in the building, yo. Good morning, Troy Smith. How you doing, sir? God bless you. Heaven smile on you and your beautiful family. Hope all is well in the field. I know you're holding it down, keeping things in check. Keep on doing what it do, brother. Yes, indeed. So check it out, man. Sometimes people will do stuff and it will irk us. It will get underneath our skin. But real talk, you got to learn. We got to learn to forgive. I'm not going to say you, we all inclusive. We got to learn to forgive. Now, I hear folks say all kind of stuff. I forgive, but I ain't going to forget. Well, that's your choice. But if you don't forget, then you might still be harboring some of the feelings that you actually need to let go. I was getting ready to sing, let it go, but this coffee got my vocal cords messed up. It's the coffee. The coffee got my vocal cords messed up. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm gonna spare you the singing this morning, okay? I'm gonna spare you the singing. Mr. Moose is in the building. Mr. Moose is in the building. God bless you, sir. I had a thought about coming to see you, brother. I just woke up a little too late. By the time I finished with the show, by the time I get to your way, man, it just be a little bit too late by the time I get back home and all that stuff. But I tell you, I had a mad thought to just hop on the hog, man, and just make a move. But good morning, Moose. I'm glad you took some time to press play on today. I'm glad that everyone stopped by this morning. But please understand, for some of us, it's time for a new beginning. And on the same note, some of us we are in a perpetual pause. Yeah, we're frozen in time because we don't have new stuff to make a new beginning. Well, how about this? Because I've already told you that you don't need new things to start a new beginning. Sometimes you got to drive your old car into your excuse me. But how about this? How about this? Me and the family, we were sitting down. Was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. I think it was the day before yesterday. And I don't even know what sparked the conversation. I think, we was watching this TV show, and they were moving in the show. And we were like, my son was like, man, we're gonna just move, and we're just gonna sell the house and everything in it and just start over fresh, And yes, and that's my point. Sometimes God is calling us to make a new start. And we're trying to bring stuff with us that we're supposed to leave behind. For some of us, the new beginning that we're starting out on, you can't take nothing with you. Nada, zilch, nothing. It's almost like, Lot's wife. She was looking back at the stuff that was left behind that she wanted to bring with her. And as a result, she was penalized, turned into a pillar of salt. So you can't be so attached to stuff that you can't make a new beginning. Yes, Lord, help us, Jesus. Okay, David is in the building. How you doing, sir? You can forgive and forget, but what's important is to learn from. Okay, thank you, David. Get me back on track. Yeah, you can forgive and you can forget, but the lesson you learn, come on, somebody, you got to hold it near and dear. But I think Dave and anyone else who's watching, if you want to, matter of fact, if you want to join in the conversation, you are certainly welcome to give us a call here on this morning. 980-222-4492 is the contact number. So if you want to reach out and share your experience, your input or whatever, you are certainly welcome to do that. But David, you bring up a very good point. Okay. And so we go through things and we experience things and we can forgive the people, but we are to learn from it. But what a lot of people do is when they say, I forgive, but I'm not going to forget, I think it's questionable if they actually completely forgave. Because sometimes, watch this now. Sometimes this is what we do. I forgive you for what you did, but I'm going to always make you pay for how what you did made me feel. Oh, my goodness. Y'all ain't hearing the preacher on this morning. Y'all ain't hearing me on this morning. Yeah. Y'all ain't hearing me on this morning. I forgave you for what you did. I was big enough and I was holy enough, righteous enough, sanctified enough to forgive you for what you did. But how what you did made me feel, I'll never forgive you for that. I mean, we may not verbally say it, but our actions do. So be careful when you say, I forgive, but I won't forget. See, you are holding on to the memory, the experience that happened as a result of what was done against you or to you or whatever. And that's the tricky part. Because what you harbor in your heart is going to affect everything. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to affect everything. Let's see here. It's got Dave. I'm telling you, brother, it's going to affect everything, man. And so let us be very careful, because here's the other thing to that. Now, let's say I stole your coffee cup, right? And I should have put it in my thermos thing because it's starting to cool off already. So that's enough of that, because it's lukewarm. And y'all know what's happened with things that are lukewarm, right? There you go, David. You're on the money, brother. You're on the money, brother. Bitterness. So check it out. Check it out, family. So I stole your coffee cup, right? And you forgave me for taking the cup, but you never forgave me for how it made you feel, and that's not a good example. Let's just jump into it, right? Let's get deep so we can just, some real stuff here. You cheated on your girlfriend or on your spouse or whatever, right? Ooh, yeah, we just jump right in there, right? And but you guys worked it out. Thank God y'all worked it out, right? And she forgave you, or he forgave you, whichever one did the transgression, right? You were forgiven for the act, for the sin, but the way it made them feel, how it hurt their heart, they'll never forgive you. But you think that you're forgiven. And so, weeks later, months later, you think things are back to normal, but in all actuality, it's not, because you were forgiven for the act. You were let back into the home, whatever the case may have been, but it's going to be over your head for the rest of your days. And so that, my brothers and sisters, is where we have to be careful, because, there's still some things in this scenario that need to be worked out. But one party is not aware. One party thinks that everything is Gucci, and the other party is letting them continue to think that. But yet and still, there's some feelings that, and now, time goes on and something comes up, and the other party is like, where'd that come from? Well, it never left. It never got completely addressed. Okay. And so if we reel it in a little bit, maybe not so deep, even as it relates to friendships and things like that, you got to be very careful, because, sometimes you do something and you didn't even mean it, but they can perceive it to be a whole lot more hurtful than what you thought it was. For you, it was just, man, it's just a coffee cup. I mean, I buy you 50 more, well, maybe that one was so sentimental, it had an S on it for Sheldon. It was special. S for special, S for super, I don't know. It was special. It's priceless. It can't be replaced. And, and so my point is, sometimes people, David, they will begin to harbor bitterness against you for something that you thought you were forgiven of. But yeah, my intentions was not to go so deep today, but it is what it is, right? Good morning to your retro philosophy. It is what it is. We just talking about new beginnings. And when y'all, please forgive me. My allergies are acting up on me today. But anyway, when there's a transgression, whether it be in a relationship, a friendship, a business relationship, or whatever, and you guys talk about it, you guys, you're supposed to start over fresh, right? Do you forgive me? I forgive you. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. Okay. We shake hands, we kiss, we do whatever. I'm in a relationship, we kiss, not, okay. All right. And we're led to believe that we now have a new beginning, but that is not always the case, my dear brothers and my dear sisters. Okay. So let me move on. Let me move on here. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we going to go from here? Okay. Now, number one, let's understand this. Okay. New beginning does not always mean new things. Sometimes you got to work what you got till God blesses you with what you need. Okay. However, for some new beginnings, you got to start from scratch with zilch, zero, Z, nada. Okay. And leave everything behind. Why? Because some of that stuff got too many memories attached to it. Some of that stuff, come on, somebody. Yeah. Here's what somebody need to understand on this morning. Okay. Today's my day off, so I got time. I ain't rushing out of here this morning. What some of you got to understand is you got to give the devil back his stuff, because if you don't, he has a right to your heart. Yeah, you talking about, you starting over and you leaving Jody behind because Jody was a player and this, that, and the other. But you took that coat Jody gave you, you took all them little cards he sent you with all them lies written in it, and you got all Jody stuff. We're talking about you don't want nothing to do with Jody. And so yeah. And now and then you're lying to the new man about the old stuff and where it came from, and and next thing you know, Jody's still calling. Next thing you know, Jody creeping around the house. Oh my goodness. So some of us, some folks, you just gotta just cut ties with all of it. We were at church yesterday and we were talking about unfinished business. If you want to hear it, you got to go back and watch the video, watch it all. You can't watch part of it because you might not get the whole. But nevertheless, I was saying, you don't owe them any explanation. Yeah. Let me pause the background music. You owe them no explanation. Okay. Yeah. If God is giving you a new opportunity, if God is opening a door for you. Yeah. Most of the time, he's opening that door to get you away from where you are. And if he's getting you away from where you are, then that means they ain't coming with you. And so you got to understand, you don't owe them an explanation. Go back and watch the video. You understand what I mean by that. Okay, but real talk, new beginnings, y'all. Don't be afraid to take a step toward your new beginning. Okay, because real talk, how many of you believe you deserve a new beginning? How many of you believe you deserve a better season? Let me put it this way. How many of you guys have had to suffer through some things and now you're ready to experience your reaping season? Ooh, now you be careful now, because when you say reaping season, that opens a can of worms, because the law of sowing and reaping are still real. Okay, it's still real. But watch this now. If you sow bad seed, you ain't gonna reap good crop. So be very careful when you start. Oh Lord, I'm ready for my reaping season. Yeah, you might reap, but it might not be what you want because of what you've sown. But for me and my house, not only are we gonna serve, and I can't speak for my literal house, because you can't make nobody do nothing they don't want to do. But as for me and my house, as for me and me, me, myself, and I, De La Soul, where you at? We're gonna serve the Lord. Does that mean I'm perfect? Perfect? No, I'm not perfect, but I ain't playing either. I've got flaws. I've made mistakes, and guess what? There will be more that I will make. Probably, that's a very good chance I'll make some more mistakes, because I'm still a pretty young man in my opinion. I'm still young enough. I still got some time. My daddy was 72 when he died, and I ain't nowhere near 72 yet. And I'm hoping and praying that I go beyond 72. I take about 103. I want to be an OG for real. But whatever the Lord says is yay and amen. But what I'm saying is, I still got time to make plenty more mistakes. Some of y'all might be saying, yeah, you're making a mistake right now. Shut up and get off the air. Boy. But yeah, but guess what? I trust God and I love God. That I do. I love the Lord. And the Bible says in the book of Romans, and we know, not guess, think, hope, but it says, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. All right. So with that said and done, even when I mess up, it's got to work for my good. Now, that doesn't mean we go out there and we just live a life, without any borders, without any, no, we don't do that. But if by chance, you happen to mess up, just get back up. Yeah. When you mess up, get up. Yeah. Okay. And God, being that he is God and that he does a pretty good job guiding, yeah, he can turn it around and make it work for your good. What the Bible says, what the devil meant for evil, God can turn around and make it work for our good. Okay, so don't be afraid of what? A new beginning. Just make a move. Make a move. So many people, and I was in that boat. I really was. I can, let's see, what time is it? Okay. I can remember a time in my life where I was stuck. I was waiting for my new beginning, and we would even quote it literally. We would, a change is coming, a change, it's on the way. I can sense it, and there were times when we would have conversations with different individuals who was close enough to the situation, and a change is gonna come. A change is gonna come. You know when a change came? When we got up and made a move. The camera didn't freeze today. It's not froze right now. No, I'm just gonna sit here and look at you. But real talk though, for real, you're waiting for a change. You've been praying for a change. You've been expecting a change, but you ain't anticipating it. Yeah. See, when you expect it, it could come at any moment. But when you anticipate it, come on now, it's almost like the passing of the baton when they run in and track. You're expecting your partner to come around that track, right? And she's coming around the bend. I'll be coming around the mountain when you go coming, and she's coming around the bend, right? And now you're in anticipation, so you start moving. Yeah, you start moving. And then y'all seen it. Y'all saw how FloJo did it back in the day, and all. Yeah, okay. So the past, so you got to do more than just expect a thing. You've got to anticipate it. And so for us, the change didn't come until we got up. Where am I here? Yeah, boom, there, and just make a move. Make a move. What you waiting for? Especially if the situation that you're in right now ain't the best. Dude, I'm saying, how much longer are you going to stay there? You know, the man of God said it to this. He said it like this to the people. He said, how long halt ye between two opinions? In other words, how long are you going to be stuck between two opinions? Just make one. I promise you, God is not that petty. I promise you, God is not petty at all. So let's say you choosing red versus yellow. I mean, make a choice. And I know life is not as simple as choosing a favorite color, but some of us, man, we're just making it more difficult than what it is. I mean, you know, so what? New York or Philadelphia? Just make a choice. God said, I'll bless you at either one. As a matter of fact, he told the children of Israel, he said, wherever your foot shall tread, I've already given it to you. All you got to do is just make a choice. All you got to do is just move. For crying out loud, move. We're Ludacris. Get out the way. Yeah, move and get out your own way so God can be God and show you the miracles. Come on, Ludacris. Move. Come on, y'all. You got make a move. Whether it's Boston or California, make a choice and work with it. Real talk, my family, my wife and I, we only had one child at the time, Shaquan. He was really, really young then. And we were planning, our plan was to move to Indianapolis, Indiana. And we were kind of stuck on this decision based on some other things that will remain silent for now. And we were kind of ill-advised or anyway, we ended up not making the move. And as a result, we were reminded over and over again of our mistake, not by anyone, but by God. And it wasn't a taunting thing. It was a teaching thing. He was showing us that there comes a time where we've got to trust God and God alone, you know, and through that ordeal, I found out that a choice is just that. It's just a choice. Even if it's a bad choice, it doesn't mean it's got to be a transgression against God. I mean, don't take that and run with it too far now. Don't do that. But the Bible tells us that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So if you are a good man, if you are a good woman, and your steps are being ordered by the Lord, then the choices that you have in front of you are both pleasing to God. So all you got to do is make a choice. He said, wherever your foot shall tread, I've already given it to you. And so we didn't make the move. We stayed put where we were. And we learned a very valuable lesson. So even what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around and worked it out for our good. And then he presented us with another opportunity years later, maybe a couple years later, however long the time frame was. And it ended up being North Carolina. And but I understand that had we made the move to Indianapolis, we would have been blessed just the same. You know what I mean? So what am I saying? I'm saying all that to say this. Just make a move. Now, I'm not telling you to move from where you're living and all that, unless that's the thing that you're facing. But what I am telling you is don't be so afraid of God that you're scared to trust what he's placed right here. Now, if your heart is wicked, then this doesn't apply. But if you are a lover of God and you know you ain't wicked, if you know, you see what I'm saying? Then God doesn't want us to be afraid of him. How many of you guys out there watching that are parents want your children to be scared of you so much so that they will not bring things to you that need to be brought to you? That's one thing I definitely try to get across to my kids. You know what I'm saying? We might not be happy or pleased with everything you want to do or choose to do or this, that, or the other, but we don't ever want you to get to the place where you feel you cannot bring it to us. And I think it's something that we tried to teach, but they also had to get to a place where they understood that. Because you have that area where they're like, I know this is what you're saying, but this right here is kind of tough. Is it? Are you really gonna mean that when I bring, you know? And so God is not the kind of God that wants us to be scared to come talk to. He said, "Come, let us reason together." Okay. So if that's you today and you're stuck between two opinions, I want to encourage you to begin to build a relationship with God, and as it relates to prayer and just talking to him, talking your thoughts out to God. And then see how it how it falls in your heart. You understand what I'm saying? and then just trust him, and then just make a move as God leads you. Let's see here. You got to move to generate momentum. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. I sense a care package going out in the mail because David is on fire today. He's on fire. He's on fire. He's on fire. So check it out, right? You got to move in order to generate momentum. And sometimes the first move is difficult, and the second move is difficult, and the third move, wait a minute, I'm starting to catch my rhythm here. And the fourth one, and then the fifth one, and the sixth one, and then the seventh one, my God, that momentum is moving. And now all you got to do is just ride it out. Yeah, just ride it out. And sometimes the hardest move is the first move. Once you do it, it's done. Once you do it, it's done. All right. So please, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, saints and ain'ts, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. OK, just make a move, because I promise you, once you do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. OK, there were a lot of things in life that I was scared of, that I was intimidated of, and things of that nature. But once I finally did it, it took the fear out of it. And once the fear is gone, then you can really make your move. OK, and God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. OK, so let me say this to you. Learn to love folks. Start loving on folks. I promise you, it'll make things easier for you. Love on them, and it'll make it easier on you. OK, furthermore, that individual who is the recipient of that love, they need it. You don't know. You don't even know where I am at in life. I mean, you might see me, but you don't know me. You see me, but you don't know where I'm at. You see a brother smile, but you don't know what he's dealing with on the inside. And I'm good. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. It's not like I'm battling all this. You know, I'm good. But real talk though, you see somebody, but you don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what kind of report they got from the doctor. You don't know how it's worrying them. You don't know, the fact that they might be the only one in their family who has to deal with all the problems of the family. You know, everybody dumps it on them. Everybody comes to them for guidance or for encouragement or this, that, and the other. But yet still, there's nobody encouraging them. You know, you don't know what one might be dealing with. So, be careful. Be very careful, and be more quick to love than to judge and all those other nasty things. OK, so thank you, David. That there is the comment of the day. You got to move to generate momentum. OK, David, if you would inbox me your information, I want to put something in the mail for you. This is what we're doing here on Retro Philosophy, man. We got to practice what we preach, right? You know what I'm saying? So we want to be a blessing when we can. And you blessed me on this morning. So David, if you would inbox me your information where I can mail your package to. Ishmael should be receiving his today. And David, if you get your information to me, we're going to put something in the mail for you. And you should get that by the end of the week. That is, if I can get it in the mail today. I probably won't get it in the mail today. It'll probably be sometime tomorrow or Wednesday, but it's coming your way. Okay, so David Caldera, inbox me your mailing address wherever you want me to mail this package to, and we're going to get that to you. All right, look at here, y'all. It's been real on this morning. It's a new day. And I know there are some people who, they dread Mondays, but Monday is a sign of a new beginning. And the reason why many people hate Monday is because they're holding on to yesterweek. Yeah, they're holding on to yesterday. Yeah. Because, Friday night, you was out there partying, you know what I'm saying? Making it do what it do, sliding across the dance floor and all this and that. And Lord knows Saturday, you know what I mean? And then you probably woke up Sunday hungover and didn't even bother going to church, and if you did, whatever. But and so now Monday means it's a new start. It's a new week. And there are too many people holding on to yesterday when what they need to do is embrace today. Okay. So Monday, today is your new beginning. Embrace it. Let go of yesterday, because yesterday's gone and tomorrow may never be yours. So maximize your today. Look at here. You can get enough momentum going that can bless your family for generations and generations and generations to come. Okay. And that, brothers and sisters, is legacy. Walking around with a wad of money in your pocket, that ain't legacy. That ain't legacy. Nah, 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 nah. That's not legacy. You see all these people, when I see all these little kids on Facebook, and some of them ain't even kids, some of them grown up out there with all, showing all this money and everything. People with real money hide it. Y'all catch that next week. People with real money hide it. And I'm not talking about in no mason jar underneath the bed, but people with real money hide it. Yeah. You think about that one. Okay. So if you out there flossing it, you really ain't got it. You really ain't got it. Okay. But that's not legacy is my point. You see what I'm saying? You got some money, dump it in something that can create legacy, that can create wealth. Yeah. That can create residual wealth. Yeah, there we go. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So maximize your today. Make that choice and then make a move. Yeah, because your children and your children's children and your children's children's children, they need you to make that move. Retro philosophy for you on today. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Before I hopped in the studio, I looked outside. The sun was shining bright, boy, I tell you. And so I'm gonna get ready to pull old Ruby Red out the shed. I'm gonna rinse her off and wipe her down. I'm gonna bend a few corners, get my knees in the breeze. Wifey gets off at 3. I'm gonna run by there like I used to do in high school and pick her up, have her hop on the back. Yeah, and then we're gonna hit some more curves and make some more turns because it's such a beautiful day today. Actually, I might pick her up from work and probably get back to the house, put her on the little fat boy and give her another lesson, let her get out there and do some riding today. One way or the other, we're going to be together. We're going to make it do what it do. All right. So Facebook, YouTube, thank you. As a matter of fact, speaking of YouTube, if you are not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please, pretty please, with sugar on top, go on over there and do that. If you would, I would greatly appreciate it. Retro Philosophy, right over there on YouTube. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Like, subscribe, and share. Say that one more time. Like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you want to be a blessing to the Retro Philosophy Show, that way we can continue. Love you too, mother. Love you too, mother-in-law. Moms, we love you. We love you. We love you with the love of God. And thank you for hanging out with your son-in-law on this morning, I should say. I wish we were closer. I'd hop on the road and just, come over there and get me some cow foot or some oxtail or something, but it is what it is. Until next time. But so we are you can definitely go over to our Cash App, which is $ Retro Philosophy. Let me put my little logo up real quick. We've been trying to get this thing right. We still got to make some other adjustments and changes and additions. We've got a local artist. I'm in the process of working with him to get a nice little logo. So we're going to get his information to you guys probably on the next show or whatever. But he's awesome, man. He's awesome. He does really, really good work. So we got to get some stuff to him so he can get it back to us and we can share with you guys. But that's how you can be a blessing to us right there. Cash App Retro Philosophy. Okay. Go ahead and take advantage of that. That's how we can also, be a blessing to you guys as you participate and, get involved on the show, commenting and sharing your opinions and calling in and all that good stuff. And so last week it was Ishmael. This week it's David. And next week it should be you. It should be you. So make sure when we go live, you press play, and make sure when you press play, you let us know you're watching and participate, get involved. It's all good. Right. All right. I think I've taken care of all the bills, if you would. And we just want to say thank you for pressing play and being a part of this show. It's fun. I enjoy getting up here and just hanging out with you guys. That's my beautiful grandbaby, y'all. Say hello to Rivali Faith. She is so precious. And when I tell you she's got my heart, she's got my whole heart right there in her little bitty hands. That's what she's holding around there. She's got my heart right there, y'all. That little girl, she's something else. So we appreciate you guys for being with us and for pressing play. If you think she's beautiful, just make some noise in the comment section. Yeah, she's something else. Her daddy, he's awesome. That's my son. That's him right there, McLord Trucking. He's Sheldon S. McIver. I'm Sheldon M. McIver, and he is doing his thing. So if you're in the North Carolina area and you need some asphalt, some gravel, some dirt, or whatever, some rocks hauled or whatever, he's doing it all. He's got his old dump truck and he's doing this. He's doing the thing. So y'all make sure y'all jot that number down and make a move. Stop thinking about it and make a move. Give him a call. He'll get it done for you. Okay. Some days I'm out there with him in the truck and making it do what it do and helping him out because that's what it's all about. Yeah. All right. So remember, folks, sometimes you just got to make it work. You might not have everything you want, but make it work with what you got. Okay. Let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. We're gonna go, y'all. We'll check you out next time, which will be tomorrow morning. Let me see here. We got a comment here. Ain't she beautiful? I tell you, that little girl, she's something else, man. You gonna have me a whole nother hour talking about Ravalli Faith, but that's my little grandbaby. I call her little mama. Come here, little mama. Every time she see me, she take my hat off, put it on her head, and she put it back on my head, and she take it off, put it back on her head. And oh my goodness, she's something else, man. I love that little girl. Love her to life. Love her to life. All right, y'all. We will see you guys next time. Whenever we get ready to go live, make sure you join us and press play. All right. It's your boy Retro, and I'm out of here.